What's good, YouTube, and a double what's good to everyone that's subscribed to the channel. Thank you for being subscribed. My name is Coach, and in today's video we're going to be doing a deck list review for the Ruinous Powers Warhammer 40k Commander deck. The purpose of this video is to go over the deck list so that you as a consumer can make an informed decision whether you would like to purchase this Commander deck or not. If you enjoy videos like this, you can let me know by liking the video, and you can subscribe to the channel because we will be doing a video like this for all of the other Warhammer 40k precons. So the first thing we take a look at is the price of the deck. It's priced at $277. This will most likely drop the moment the deck releases, as is always the case. However, looking at this, I would imagine that there are a lot of cards inside here that have some value. 277 is, I think, the most I've ever seen, if I'm being honest. So the first card we have here is Abaddon the Despoiler. Trample. During your turn, spells you cast from your hand with mana value X or less have Cascade, where X is the amount of life your opponents have lost this turn. Okay. Cascade is fun. I don't know what else to really say here. The Herald of Slaanesh. Other demons you control have haste. Oh. Demon spells you have cost 2 less to cast. Oh yeah. I have a Demon Tribal Anya Falcon Wrath Commander deck. This card is perfect. Literally perfect for that deck. Take a look over here. We have the Poxwalkers. Says whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, return Poxwalkers from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Okay. Talisman of Nurgle. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. If 7 or more creatures died this turn, instead you draw 7 cards and you lose 7 life. Seems like a lot. Aspiring Champion. Menace. Deals damage. Sacrifice it if you do. You reveal until you find a creature, put it onto the battlefield. If the creature is a demon, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Okay. Blood Crusher. Other creatures you control have trample. That's cool. For 4 mana. And it has trample itself. It's not bad. Chaos Terminator Lord. Wow. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains double strike until the end of turn. That can go. This card's awesome. There's a enchantment that does the same thing, and it costs the same mana as well. But this is a creature. Dark Apostle. The next non-creature spell you cast this turn has Cascade. For 3. Okay. Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch. At the beginning of your upkeep, return an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. 4 mana creature. Okay. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, deals 1 damage to each opponent. That's a fun card. I would like to make copies of that card and just get a ton of cards from my graveyard to my hand and just deal a ton of damage. It seems like a fun card. I would play this in Sivin the Chronoclasm. Karn the Betrayer. Wow. Attacks are blocked each combat if able. When you lose control of Karn the Betrayer, draw 2 cards. Oh, he's a 5/1. When you lose control, if damage would be dealt to Karn the Betrayer, prevent that damage, and an opponent of your choice gains control of it. Oh, okay. Let's see. That's cool. Plague Drone. If an opponent would gain life, that player loses that much life instead. Ooh. That's an awesome card right there. Seeker of Slaanesh. Each opponent must attack with at least 1 creature each combat if able. Okay. Sloppity Bile Piper. Pay 2 mana, sack a creature. The next creature spell you cast this turn has Cascade. Okay. You know what I'm noticing now is a lot of these. There's a lot of cards here that give creatures buffs. Like Double Strike, Trample. The other one had Haste. So I'm imagining we're just cascading into these cards that are buffing our board. And just overall having a big effect on the game. I like this deck. I think this is cool so far. Whenever Zangor Shaman deals combat damage to a player, copy the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn when you cast it. That's cool. Venom Crawler, lifelink. Whenever another creature dies, put a counter on Venom Crawler. Okay, you're gaining life. Chaos Defiler, 5/4 trample. When it enters or dies, for each opponent, choose non-land permanent that player controls. Destroy one of them chosen at random. Okay. Great Unclean One. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 2 life. Then for each opponent who has less life than you, create a 1/3 black demon creature token named Plague Bearer of Nurgle. At your end step, each opponent loses 2 life. Then each opponent who has less life than you. Okay. That's a cool card. It's a nice way to just speed the game up. I would have liked for this to be a legendary creature, if I'm being honest, because I'm pretty sure that's a god. May or may not be a god, I could be wrong, but from what I know about 40k, this looks like a... Pretty sure that's a god. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Hellbrute. You may cast Hellbrute from your graveyard by exiling another creature card from your graveyard in addition to paying its other cost. That's cool because we have Cascade with our commander. So just having something in the graveyard to cast will allow you to cascade. This is a good idea. This is good vision here. Heralds of Tzeentch, Flying Cascade. Just talking about Cascade. Night Ramp. Oh my god, this card looks so amazing. I wish this was a legendary creature. Night Rampager. Trample. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, choose an opponent at random. Night Rampager attacks that player this combat if able. When Night Rampager dies, it deals 4 damage to target opponent chosen at random. Cool. Lucius the Eternal. Haste. When it dies, exile it, choose a creature an opponent controls. When that creature leaves the battlefield, return Lucius from exile to the battlefield. That's fun. Magnus the Red. Oh, wow. Yo, this is like the Tzeentch god, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is. Demon Primarch, flying, instant or sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature token you control. Oh my god. This card is amazing. Whenever Magnus the Red deals combat damage to a player, create a 3/3. Yeah, this just goes really well with Double Strike. I really like that card. I'm gonna build this commander deck. Noise Marine. Enters the battlefield, deals damage equal to the number of spells you cast this turn. Cool for Cascade. That can be a GG card. Pink Horror. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Pink Horror deals 2 damage to any target. Cool. I mean, at 5 mana. Okay, and then when it dies, you create 2 2/2s that do the same thing but deal 1 damage. Be'lakor the Dark Master. When Be'lakor Dark Master enters the battlefield, you draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the number of demons you control. Okay. Whenever another demon enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Nice. Bloodthirster. Whenever Bloodthirster deals combat damage to a player, untap it. Oh man, After this combat phase, there's an additional combat phase. Notably, this would be the only creature that would be able to untap during the extra combat. However, if you had a creature with vigilance, then technically that creature with vigilance would be able to attack again. So I'm thinking Calamity, Disciple of Iroas, the dude from Strixhaven, Velomachus. This would be a good card in those decks. Okay, so we have the Keeper of Secrets. First strike haste. When you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, Keeper of Secrets deals damage. I'm telling you guys, this deck is going to be strong. There's a lot of cards that are just dealing damage from casts and just casting spells, which means that you don't have to deal damage with combat. And generally, when you're playing commander decks, and if you build a commander deck around not having to deal damage through combat, it generally just plays stronger because you're just playing and just dealing damage. Deck is good. I'm already gonna say that this deck is already like on a power level. As a precon, I'm gonna say this is like an 8. Depending, it could turn into a 9, but it's already at an 8 from everything that I've seen so far. This is a strong deck. Mortarion Daemon Primarch. Oh, this is such a cool card. This is the Death Guard, I'm pretty sure. Flying. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay X. If you do, create X 2/2 black Astartes warrior creature tokens with menace. X can't be greater than the amount of life he lost his turn. Okay, that's cool. Mutalith Vortex Beast. That's a card. Mutalith enters the battlefield. Flip a coin. For each opponent you have. For each flip you win, draw a card. For each flip you lose, deals 3 damage to that player. Okay. I could play that card in my 1 flip coin commander deck. Lord of Change. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. 7 mana, flying, ward 3. I mean, that would be cool to cascade into. Or to trigger cascade. If you could reduce its mana value. Brainstorm, okay. Dark Ritual, okay. Vile Blight, Reverberate, that's a good card. Chaos Warp, Mandate of Abaddon. Choose target creature you control. Destroy all creatures with power less than that creature's power. I was actually thinking about Feather. I'm pretty sure my Feather deck has a card that's similar to that. It's kind of funny that this got printed. Past in Flames. Ooh, Past in Flames is a good card. Bituminous Blast, Blight Grenade, destroy target creature. All creatures get -3/-3. That's cool. Chaos Mutation. Exile any number of target creatures controlled by different players. For each creature exiled this way, its controller reveals cards on top of the library into a creature card. Put that card to the battlefield. Deny Reality. This card. Maim Burn. Destroy artifact creature, 3 damage. Nurgle's Conscription. Our creature card from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. Then exile that player's graveyard, okay. Let the Galaxy Burn. 2 damage. What? Has Cascade. Let the Galaxy Burn deals X plus 2 damage to each creature that didn't enter the battlefield this turn. Okay. So it keeps your cascaded creatures safe. Decree of Pain. That's a good board wipe. Blasphemous Axe, speaking of good board wipes. Blood for the Blood God. 1 less for each creature that died this turn. Discard your hand and draw 8 cards. Deals 8 damage to each opponent. So copy the spell, you can win a game. Soul Ring. Wayfarers, Talisman. Oh, they're really going all out with this deck, guys. This deck is a 9 automatically. Look at these artifacts. Chromatic. A chromatic lantern. This deck is a 9. This deck is crazy strong. When Drac enters the battlefield, exile a creature. Equip creature as menace and plus X+0, where X is the exiled card's power. Wow. That's so cool. Nurgle's Rot. When the creature dies, return Nurgle's Rot to its owner's hand. 1 mana? Oh, I thought this forced their opponent to sacrifice that creature, so forget it. But it's still cool. Cool art. Lost in the Damned. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control from anywhere other than your hand, or you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, create a 3/3. Yeah, this could win you a game. This card is good. This card goes really well with this Magnus the Red. The Ruinous Powers. Beginning of your upkeep, choose an opponent at random. Exile top card of that player's library. Then you can just cast your opponent's stuff. When you cast a spell this way, its owner loses life equal to its mana value. Great. That's awesome. Horus Heresy. For each opponent, gain control of up to 1 target non-legendary creature. Okay, draw a card for each creature you control but don't own. Just essentially draw 3 cards. And then starting with you, each player chooses a creature. Destroy each creature chosen this way. Well, that's a cool card. For 6 mana, that's a lot. And then Warstorm Surge with new art. And I think that's it. I don't see any lands over here that really stand out. Yeah, wow. This is the strongest precon I've ever seen in my life. I think this precon is just... I mean, talking about upgrading this deck, I mean, you could probably take out some of the cards if you really want to focus on Cascade, or you want to focus on the Demon Tribal, or you want to focus on casting instant or sorcery spells. You can just adjust as you need to, and you can't really go wrong either way you decide to take it. I think that playing the route where you're dealing damage as you cast spells alongside with the Cascade would turn this deck into something where you're just speeding up the game heavily, which could put you in a place where like 1 turn you deal 10 damage to each opponent could just, could just end the game, right? So I think that this deck is so strong, it's actually kind of intense. And I think, to me it makes sense because, Wizards is partnering with Warhammer 40k, and I think if I was making a commander deck with a collaboration, I would want to make sure that especially just because it's cool, it's Warhammer, that I would push the envelope if I could, because the other deck list that I did a review for yesterday tended to be kind of strong, but this is, we have cards inside here. This is not just like a strong commander deck. There are cards inside here that are legit staples. Like Blood for the Blood God is gonna be like a legit GG staple for a long time. I mean, there's a Decree of Pain inside this deck. There's a lot of cards inside here that help out a lot of other commander decks. There's a sword inside here that exiles creatures now. There's just a lot of really powerful cards inside this deck, and I'm gonna if I had the choice to choose one, I haven't even seen the other commander decks yet, but I would buy this one hands down. It's just out of the Chromatic Lantern. Why? It's such a good card, and you put that inside here. It already has all of the talismans, which I think are just generally not easy to find. And it has a Wayfarer's Bauble, Soul Ring. I'm telling you guys, this deck here is wild. That's the review. If you're subscribed and you're still watching this video, here's a triple what's good. Thank you for being subscribed. If you're not subscribed, all you need to do is just hit the subscribe button. We make videos like this. This is just turned into a pre-con review channel, basically. And we're gonna eventually do some play tests with these commander decks. So if you would like to see that, then all you need to do is be subscribed, hit the bell icon so that you're notified when those videos go up live. Okay, so I always say the same thing when I end these videos. Always remember, eat healthy. Okay, work out every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And most importantly, people, you gotta believe in yourself. All right.